Hello everyone. Okay, after last weekend we did a little work on the roof, shoveling snow into our cistern so we could catch more water. And day one went great. Water level went up a lot. The second day that we did, when we shoveled the second half of the roof into the cistern, all the snow, we noticed that the water level really didn't go up. So this makes us concerned that there's possibly one of our cisterns has a leak. Now there's a cistern on each side of the house. There's 5,000 gallons on this side, and on the other side of the house there's another 5,000 gallon. And it's not like a plastic tank, a poly tank, or anything like that. What it is the tires have been packed in a circle, and then that was filled in with mud, and then bentonite was added to seal up the cisterns originally. Well, since then we have put in a rubber coating that you basically paint on. We did that to seal the cisterns, and last year they filled up all the way. Everything was great. This year, the water drained down about halfway, and we're kind of stuck there right now. So what I need to do is I need to see which cistern, first of all, determine which cistern may be leaking. And how I do that is I will turn off the water supply from one of the cisterns, and then I will put water in it, and there's a gauge on the end that I can look, a clear gauge, this right here. You can see this is where our water level is right now. So what will happen is I will close that cistern off, I'll pump water into it, let it go up, watch it go up, the water level, and then I'll turn the water off and let it sit for a little bit, watch it, and see if it stays the same. If it stays the same, we know there's an external leak. It's leaking out. If it goes up and it stays, then we know, okay, that one's not leaking. So what I'll do is I'll do one side, see if it's the culprit or not, and then I'll check the other side just in case. But whenever I do figure out which one's leaking, what I'll do is the one that's not leaking, I'll turn it off, and we will only use the water out of the one that's leaking so we can get the water down and I can get in there and fix it. Because right now it's probably about, I would say, 4.5 feet deep of water in the cistern. So I can't really get down there, and it's too cold anyway. But anyway, let's, I'm going to go in here and get started testing this, or testing the cistern, and see which one is leaking. Alright, we are now in the utility room. This is where all of our water supply comes in. And this valve here is for the cistern on this side, the main water supply in. And then this valve here is the other cistern main supply water in. And as you can see, they both come in. So they're always equal. They'll automatically equalize. And then the main water comes up. And if I want to turn just the main off, I will turn this off. This is what I will turn off. I just want to turn the water off to the house. I will turn this one off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the one on this end of the house, and I'm going to just turn it off. So now no water is able to come in from this way, only from this cistern will it be able to come in to the pipe. So I'm going to turn this side off, and then I'm going to pump water into this cistern, and I'll check the water level and see if it goes up. And if it goes up and stays up, I know it's not leaking. If it just stays the same or goes up and then goes back down, I'll know there is a leak. So that's the first thing I'm going to do right there, is turn that valve off. And this here is the gauge that we check for the water on this side. And I have a little twisty here that I put on there, and that is exactly where the water level is in this this tube, this poly tube. So what I'll do is I'll just simply mark it, and that this cistern's been turned off, so now I can just pump water into it and see if it goes up and stays up. So this is the first thing we have to do. Let me get my garden hose and get that set up. Okay, now you can hear water running into the cistern that I got the water turned on. So I'm gonna let this run for 15-20 minutes, let the water level come up a little bit, and I'll check my gauge and we'll see if it's holding water or not. Okay, so after messing with this for a couple days and trying to figure out the still, I discovered that the reason why we didn't go up in level the second day when we shoveled snow into this cistern over here is this valve here is turned completely off. And the gauge is on this side of the water, so it's always going to read what the other one said. As you can see, it's currently right there. So if we set our little marker here, I'm going to set that there, and this cistern on this side is completely full, basically. I discovered because we got up on the roof and looked at it, and sure enough, it was full. So now I'm going to turn this on. Okay, so we can put our cover back on. There we go.
And Honey's showers just got longer.